Well, for more on the significance of the summit, I'm joined by Jack Valero in London. He's the founder of Catholic Voices UK. Jack, good to have you on the show. Now, there is a lot of criticism around the summit, partly because hardly any of the victims will be speaking and sort of telling their side of the story. My question to you is, how much credibility can the summit have if the victims that are involved aren't given the same platform as the senior members of the church?
Well, I am hopeful for this meeting. You say the victims are not involved, but in fact, the Pope asked every attendee to listen to victims in their own country. And there was a meeting with victims yesterday by the organizers of the Vatican summit. So, in a way, the victims are there. And it's important that they should be from each country, because it's not just 2 or 3 or 20 that are well known, but in each country. This is a policy that needs to be implemented everywhere. As a Catholic, I want sexual abuse to end, I want perpetrators to be punished and victims to be recompensed and helped. We have made a lot of steps forward in safeguarding, but we still need to be better with victims, and that's why the Pope asked each participant to meet with victims beforehand, so they could understand exactly where the victims were coming from, so that they could believe them, and that we could stop defending the institution and protecting children everywhere. Okay,
my question to you now is, you said that you want abusers to be punished. Now, the argument by some is that the church should impose a sort of a zero-tolerance policy against the committers of these crimes. Do you see this coming out from the summit at the Vatican?
Of course, zero tolerance is something that we want. And the meeting has 3 topics, responsibility, accountability and transparency. And we're going to look at all those. Today is responsibility, tomorrow is accountability, and then transparency. And, we've made great strides in safeguarding, in protecting children, but there are gaps in accountability, especially of bishops who don't follow the rules. And in countries where they have not implemented the rules yet, for example, in the UK where I live, the rules are excellent and they've been praised, even by the government, the rules of the church. So I think that we need to keep working at this and implement them everywhere, and so that we get to a place where we've got to already in the United States and Britain, and where there is much more accountability for those who do not follow the rules.
Okay, now, we began our conversation, you said that you were hopeful. You gave me the agenda of this 4-day summit at the Vatican. You said there were gaps in accountability. What do you expect in terms of concrete results coming out?
Well, I expect that there would be accountability systems whereby bishops who don't follow the guidelines are brought to task and lose their job or resign. I would like to listen more to victims. We've been listening to victims, but to listen more to their needs, to look after them better. And I would like the rules to be implemented everywhere. As I say, there are some countries where the guidelines for safeguarding have been implemented and have been running for 15 years very successfully. I was listening the other day to a report from the public schools in Chicago, non-religious public schools, and they worked out that in the last 10 years to 2017, they had 500 cases of sexual abuse in just Chicago, whereas in the church, in the whole of the United States for that period, it was 5 a year. So in the safeguarding area, we are making strides, but this has to be implemented all around the world. And as you said at the beginning in the introduction, there are some bishops who are still in denial about this problem happening. And so in their countries, in other countries, so they need to learn. And that's why the Pope has called all the most important Catholics from all over the world, bishops, but also men and women, to make sure that everybody understands, so we're all on the same page.
All right, Jack Valero, founder of Catholic Voices UK, thank you for your insight.